Let's head to Woodbine for the Queen's Plate. 3-year-olds going 1.25 miles on the synthetic surface. The Canadian version of the Kentucky Derby, the first leg of the Canadian Triple Crown. You had a field of 16 signed on, and post-time favorite ended up being one of the 2 fillies running, Wonder Godot. Wonder Godot had developed a very, very bad habit of hanging her chances down the lane. She would roll up with a full head of steam, and the minute she got to the leader, she would stop, and she would wait and wait and wait. Well, the blinkers finally went on for Mark Casse here. John Velasquez was reunited with Wonder Godot. They ran so well, running second behind Monomoy Girl in the Kentucky Oaks. And again, an instance where it looked like she may have actually hung there, where maybe if she didn't hang, she would have gotten the job done. She had a full head of steam. We were going to find out if the blinkers were going to be the thing that got her over the top. Sure enough, did they ever. Here's the stretch run to this year's Queen's Plate.
Splitting them is Cooler Mike, and down the outside running on is also ahead by a century. Wonder Godot's in front, and she's dashed away in the Queen's Plate, ahead by a century into second. But there's no doubt who's the best today, and it's all about Wonder Godot, Wonder Woman herself, demolishes them in the Queen's Plate. What a brilliant win. Ahead.
Wonder Godot, at odds of 2-1, wins this year's Queen's Plate $1 million purse for the 3-year-olds. She gets the job done over ahead by a century and Cooler Mike. They run second and third as odds of 28-1 and 46-1 respectively. The trifecta for this race came back enormous for $2, paid over $3 grand. Let's take a little bit of a deeper look, deeper dive at your winner of the Queen's Plate in 2018, Wonder Godot. She is 4 of 12 lifetime. You see she's only been out of the money once from those 12 lifetime starts. She's over $1.1 million, just shy of $1.2 million in career earnings, owned by Gary Barber, trained by Mark Casse, bred by Anderson Farms, Ontario, incorporated in Ontario. You can see John Velasquez rode her to victory, and the pedigree at the bottom of the horse card. She is by Medaglia d'Oro out of a Vindication mare named Loving Vindication. From a figure standpoint, Wonder Godot earns a 95 buyer and a 115 Timeform US rating. It's worth noting the half, the 3/4, and the mile splits for Timeform were color-coded red, meaning they were fast, which to me makes this effort that much more impressive for Wonder Godot. She went 1.25 miles for the first time. She was wide every step of the way, for the most part. I shouldn't say that. I mean, early on, the first time down by the stands, she was in mid-pack in and amongst horses, but 2 or 3 passes off the rail, and then she was out in the clear for the rest of the run, and she was relatively close to the pace. When you factor in that it was fast and that final quarter mile, listen to the final quarters of the top 4 finishers. The 4th place finisher, Strike Me Down, who got a little bit stacked up on the far turn, but he ended up wheeling out into the clear and came with a bit of a run. He finished in 26:30. The 3rd place finisher, Cooler Mike, who was relatively close, basically in the same position as Wonder Godot, but down on the inside saving ground, had to wait briefly on the far turn, but he came. He finally got a little bit of running room and went on with it. He finished in 27:17. Ahead by a century, a horse who, again, off the pace in this spot. He was running toward the back of the pack. He came on with a run, finished well, finished in 26:26. Wonder Godot, who was close to that pace, wide every step of the way, she finished in 25:73, considerably faster than anyone else in this field. The blinkers made a world of difference. This is the absolute definition of what blinkers are supposed to do for a horse. If a horse is getting a little bit goofy, looking around, a little bit of whatever else you want to say. Hanging like she did, blinkers on, bang, totally different animal. This is a kind of filly that all of a sudden, you know she can act pretty well on dirt. And it sounds like the top 3 finishers are all going on to the 2nd leg of the Canadian Triple Crown. That will be the Prince of Wales Stakes, I believe, at Fort Erie. All of a sudden, this becomes a fascinating horse, I think, for races at Saratoga. You could be looking at the Alabama particularly is the one that, for me, I look at and I see Monomoy Girl and I say, you know what, she's very, very talented. She's the leader in the clubhouse by far. But 1.25 miles, I don't know if that's really what she wants. You look at a horse like Midnight Bisou, who we'll get to her in a little bit with the Mother Goose. As good as she is, I wonder if she might be better at that one-turn configuration. The one horse that there is no doubt she wants every bit of 10 furlongs is Wonder Godot. And she can act on dirt, and now she's not going to hang like a chandelier. You could be looking at a serious, serious filly, and I wouldn't even rule out the idea of her getting to Churchill Downs for the Breeders' Cup Distaff at 9 furlongs over a surface that she's already had success with. Why not? You get a little bit of pace. She has a little bit of versatility. They went that fast. She was toward the rear, and she moved up, made that little bit of a move coming out of the first turn, and then down the backside was 2 or 3 lengths off of it. I was very taken by this effort. I think she's really, really talented. I've never questioned the talent but it's very difficult to trust a horse that was going to do what she had done for the first 6 starts of her 3-year-old campaign. Blinkers go on, and credit to Mark Casse for that. Taking a chance before arguably the biggest race of her career with the exception of the Kentucky Oaks. You made an equipment change, and you made the right equipment change because she dusted this field. And I hate to say this, there's really not much else as far as the rest of the field is concerned that I saw as far as trips are concerned. Telekinesis, and I suppose anyone else that was relatively close to the pace, I'm just not sure why they went as fast as they did. 23, 46, and 4, 11, and 4 for 3 quarters. Was there really a need to go that fast? Telekinesis is a horse that has shown that he can sit just off the pace and still be effective. Said they were intent on making the front, and he paid the price for it. He finished 5th, which I suppose is kind of a positive and a feather in his cap. I think he's going to be better suited personally on dirt than synth, whereas with Wonder Godot, I think she is a little bit better on synth, but that doesn't mean that she can't run on dirt. And I also think she's really good on turf. So there are a lot of interesting sort of opportunities now for Wonder Godot going forward. And I think I'm all in. I'm buying whatever stock you have in Wonder Godot going forward for the rest of the year. I'm buying it because this is a horse that'll run all day. Now it looks like she's got her mind on running with the equipment change. Wonder Godot could be a serious, serious filly, and a filly that these other girls are going to have to take serious, even the older horses going forward, if she continues to progress like this and actually take steps forward. Wonder Godot, visually tremendous, winning the Queen's Plate up at Woodbine on Saturday afternoon, the main event of the entire Woodbine meeting. She beats all the other 3-year-olds, including all the boys, with a 95 Beyer and a 115 Timeform US rating.